Welcome to another episode of the Echoes of Eir.
Today, we're diving deep into Irish mythology to explore a legendary clash. It's known as the Second Battle of Ma Tued. And with your expertise, we're going to uncover the captivating details of this epic confrontation. Now, the source material really dives into the battle itself, but before we get there, we need to touch upon a fearsome group known as the Fomorians. Can you give us some insight into who these beings were and what they represent in Irish mythology?
Absolutely. The Fomorians are fascinating because they're often portrayed as these monstrous figures, almost demonic, embodying chaos and the untamed forces of nature.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're often described as having distorted or grotesque features, symbolizing the antithesis of the order and beauty that the Tuatha Dé Danann represent.
So they're like the ultimate force of nature given form. That's a pretty powerful concept. It makes their clash with the Tuatha Dé Danann even more intriguing. What was it about this particular battle, the Second Battle of Ma Tued, that made it so significant?
Well, you have to understand that this battle wasn't just a random skirmish. It was a culmination of long-standing tensions between the Fomorians and the Tuatha Dé Danann, a struggle for power and control over Ireland itself.
It's a power struggle. Wow.
Yeah, the Tuatha Dé Danann, associated with skill, artistry, and knowledge, had been ruling Ireland. But the Fomorians, representing these primordial forces, wanted to reclaim their dominance.
So it's like a battle for the very soul of Ireland. It's a pretty high-stakes situation.
Yeah.
The source material we're working with focuses specifically on the battle itself. So I'm really curious to hear about the preparations that went into such a monumental clash. What kind of details does the text give us about how both sides geared up for this epic showdown?
The text paints a vivid picture of meticulous preparation on both sides. It describes the Fomorians, led by Balor of the Evil Eye, gathering their forces in a place with a very evocative name, the Tower of Glass.
The Tower of Glass. That
Yeah.
sounds ominous.
It does, doesn't it? And on the other side, we have the Tuatha Dé Danann, led by Lu with the help of Nuada, marshaling their own forces. Under Lu's leadership, they spend years gathering allies, honing their skills, crafting powerful weapons.
I bet this is where Lu's, being a multi-talented guy really comes in handy, right?
Absolutely.
He's not just a warrior, but a strategist, a craftsman, a leader who can inspire and unite his people.
Exactly. Lu's ability to see that bigger picture, to understand how different skills and strategies all work together, it's crucial to their preparations.
So he's not just relying on brute force.
No, he's leveraging the unique talents of all the members of the Tuatha Dé Danann, creating this really formidable force to face the Fomorian threat. Remember those skilled artisans we mentioned? The ones who made those magical weapons?
Yeah. Goibni the smith, Luch to the right, and Cridni the bronze worker. Lu went straight to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make sure that Tuatha Dé Danann had the best weapons, enchanted and everything.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got the stakes, the prep. Now take me to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the key moments of this Second Battle of Ma Tued? Like, give me the highlights.
The text paints such a vivid picture of this clash of armies. It's a whirlwind of magic, bravery, sacrifice, a battle that rages for days,
Wow.
with both sides unleashing their most powerful warriors and weapons.
Yeah, I bet there are some, legendary figures we might recognize from other Irish myths.
Oh, absolutely.
Who are some of the key players on the Tuatha Dé Danann side?
Oh, you've got the mighty Dagda.
Oh, yeah.
Known for his strength, his cauldron of plenty, that club that could kill 9 men with one blow.
Brutal.
You've also got Goibniu, the skilled smith, forging those magical weapons that never miss their mark, and Dian Sect, the physician, tirelessly working to heal the wounded and keep the Tuatha Dé Danann fighting.
Okay, talk about an all-star lineup.
Oh,
It sounds like, a scene straight out of a movie.
right.
What about Lu? What's his role in all this? Is
Yeah.
he, leading the charge from the front lines?
Lu is at the very heart of the battle, not just as a warrior, but as that strategist, the leader who inspires his troops, with his courage, his cunning.
He's the one who's rallying the Tuatha Dé Danann,
Exactly.
coordinating the attacks.
Yes, anticipating the Fomorians' every move.
You've got the Tuatha Dé Danann, led by Lu, facing off against this fearsome Fomorian army,
Yeah.
led by Balor Bress and other powerful figures. With all this emphasis on skill and craftsmanship in Irish mythology,
Yeah.
I'm curious about the weapons used in this battle.
Right.
Were there any legendary magical artifacts involved?
Oh, absolutely. Remember those 4 cities
Yeah.
where the Tuatha Dé Danann honed their skills and gathered their treasures?
Yeah.
Well, they brought some incredibly powerful weapons from those cities.
Like what?
Okay, so Lugh himself wielded a spear called the Sleemane.
This Sleemane, okay.
It was said to be so deadly that no wound inflicted by it could be healed.
Oh, wow. So like a guaranteed kill?
Pretty much. And it never missed its target.
Okay, so Lugh is pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah, on the battlefield.
But what about Balor? What made him such a formidable opponent?
Okay, so Balor possessed a weapon unlike any other,
Okay.
his infamous evil eye.
His evil eye. Okay.
Legend has it that his eye was actually poisoned by the fumes in a potion
What?
his father's druids were brewing,
Run.
and it was transformed into this weapon of terrifying power.
An evil eye. How did that work exactly?
So it was said that a single glance from Balor's evil eye
Yeah.
could wreak havoc on entire armies,
Wow.
causing death and destruction.
Okay, so he kept it closed most of the time.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Right, but on the battlefield?
Yeah, it was a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, now I'm getting chills. So Lugh has this incredible spear
Yeah.
that never misses,
Right.
and Balor has this eye that can just decimate armies with a single glance.
Right.
How could Lugh possibly win against that?
Okay, so it was this tense standoff.
Yeah.
Balor, knowing that Lugh was the one prophesied to kill him, kept his deadly eye shut,
Okay.
waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its power.
So Lugh's aware of the danger,
Oh, yeah.
and he has to find an opportunity to strike.
Yeah, before Balor can open his eye.
Sounds like a deadly game of strategy and timing.
It really is, with the fate of both armies hanging in the balance.
So who makes the first move?
So Balor, confident in his devastating weapon,
Yeah.
makes the first move.
Okay.
He orders his men to lift his eyelid.
So he could see Lugh.
Yeah, so he could see the chatterbox, as he dismissively called Lugh.
Chatterbox.
Yeah, who was bravely challenging him.
Right.
But as that terrifying eye began to open,
Yeah.
Lugh seized his chance.
Yeah.
With lightning speed and precision.
Okay.
He used his sling
His sling.
to launch a stone directly at Balor's head.
He hit him with a sling against
Yeah,
that eye.
It was a perfect shot,
Wow.
guided by both skill and fate.
Wow.
The stone, imbued with Lugh's power,
Okay.
pierced Balor's head, killing the Fomorian king instantly.
Does Balor's death mean the end of the battle?
Uh-huh.
Do the Fomorians, just give up?
Well, with Balor gone, things changed dramatically.
Okay.
Demoralized, leaderless, the Fomorians are eventually defeated. The Tuatha De Danann claim victory, reclaiming their freedom, securing their place as the dominant force in Ireland.
But it wasn't without cost, right?
No,
Victory often comes at a price. What about the Tuatha De Danann? They must have losses.
you're right. The text acknowledges the sacrifices made,
Yeah.
highlighting the losses of some of their greatest heroes, including Nuada, the former king.
That's, it's a poignant reminder that even in victory, there's loss.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, it's not a simple triumph.
No.
It's a victory earned through courage, sacrifice, and this understanding of the balance between light and shadow.
Exactly.
And yet, amidst all that violence, there were these unexpected moments of mercy and negotiation. Take Loch Lethless, for example. He begs Luck for mercy and offers loyalty and judgment in return. Luck's decision to spare him wasn't just compassion, it was strategy.
Exactly. Lugh's a fascinating character. Even in victory, he's always thinking ahead. It's no wonder he's considered a figure of wisdom and cunning in Irish mythology. And Locke naming the chariots, the horses, even the drivers. It's almost ritualistic, like he's immortalizing the moment for the Tuatha.
Then there's Brez, who's such a complex figure. He's been stripped of his power, reduced to pleading for his life. His offerage, perpetual milk for the cows, crops in all seasons, but just milk. They show how desperate he was. But it's interesting that the Tuatha, through Meldon's wisdom, didn't let him off so easily.
Right. It wasn't just about making a deal. It was about ensuring Ireland's future. Teaching the Tuatha how to farm was a lasting contribution, and it's fascinating how that became the condition for sparing Brez. It's almost as if they were saying, your life has value if you use it to benefit everyone.
There's the Morrigan. Her role in declaring victory and recounting the battle's triumphs is iconic, but it's her prophecy that stays with you. That eerie vision of a world in decline is haunting. How was it?
Summer without flowers, cattle without milk, men without valor, and kings without justice. a haunting prophecy, reminding us that even in victory, peace is fragile. It reminds us that even in victory, there's always a sense of fragility. The Morgan seems to be saying that no triumph lasts forever, and the seeds of change, maybe even destruction, are always there.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've explored the second battle of Mag Tuiredith, a defining moment for the Tuatha Dé Dananns and their world.
But their story isn't over yet. Next time, we'll wrap up our series on these legendary battles with an episode dedicated to the arrival of the Milesians. This moment marks the end of the Tuatha Dé Dananns' time as rulers of Ireland, and the beginning of a new chapter in Irish mythology.
It's a story of change, transition, and the enduring legacy of the gods and mortals who shaped Ireland. You won't want to miss it.
So join us next time as we delve into the epic arrival of the Milesians and uncover how it all unfolded.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.